thank you all for being here today. My name is Taze Shepard, and I am delighted to tell you that I have filed my qualifying papers in Montgomery, and I am now officially a candidate for the seat in Congress from the 5th District of North Alabama. I'd like to make a few remarks to you today on that subject. First, the number one topic of our campaign for the 5th District will be the promotion of economic prosperity and economic growth across North Alabama. In this time of stagnation and uncertainty in the national economy, and we've all seen that in our friends and our personal lives, the most important word in our vocabulary has to be jobs. Jobs relating to NASA, jobs relating to the Army, jobs relating to TVA. And we're talking about existing jobs that a congressman can preserve and new jobs that congressman should bring to North Alabama. My family has lived in North Alabama for over 100 years. The values of this district and its importance to our national security are at my core. With your help and support, I will work tirelessly to provide the same kind of leadership that this district has enjoyed with other men from North Alabama, like Bud Kramer, Ronnie Flippo, Bob Jones, and John Sparkman. And like these great men from North Alabama, I can work with Democrats and Republicans to get the results for our district. Now, recently I spent about 5 minutes explaining to one of my sons what a congressman does and what this would be about. And I went on for about 5 minutes, and then he stopped me and said, "Wait a minute, Dad, I get it." I was talking about the agenda, I was talking about personal advancement. He said, no, let me say it in 1 or 2 sentences. I said, okay, go ahead. He said, "It's not about being the big cheese, is it?" No, it's not. He said, "It's about bringing home the cheese, taking care of your district." And I said, "Golly, good line, can I use that?" And he said, "Sure." So that's exactly what I will do. I will be accessible to the citizens of this district. I will work with our local leaders. Communication is so important. And I will provide a strong voice in Washington to protect and promote the federal assistance, funds, and jobs for the 5th District of Alabama. So thank you very much, and I'll be happy to take a few questions.
Why should voters choose you?
Well, that's a good question. The reason is that I understand the political process. I understand what people here need, and I'm always willing to learn more. Specifically, I've already been in 5 of the 7 counties, and by the end of this week I will have been in every part of this district to talk to local leaders, people on the street, anyone who wants to tell me what their concerns and interests are. And I view the congressman as someone who represents their district first in Washington. You can work with the national leaders whether you agree with them or not, because it's about relationships. You don't have to accept every national program or every national debate in order to say, we need funding for NASA, we need jobs in the Shoals, we need to fix the roads in Lauderdale County. And that is what I'm committing to. That's what I will do for our district. Anybody else?
Do you think you could handle all that snow that they're seeing in Washington right now?
Well, I'm hoping that the people up there will do a little shoveling before I get there, but if I have to do it, I'll do my part. By the way, any of you don't know, this is my wife, Pamela Lang Shepard. Pam was born in Lawrence County and grew up in Decatur. She is my best partner and will be my best campaigner throughout the year.
Besides jobs, what are the other major issues that you would focus on if you were elected?
Well, I think that, I will answer your question, but I think that the economy is most important because you have to be able to pay your mortgage payment and feed your children before you can worry about secondary issues. But there are a lot of related matters that are important too, and I'm glad you asked. I mentioned, I think a minute ago, federal funds that may be available. An example is Lauderdale County incurred over $1 million in damages to their roads and bridges from the recent bad weather we've had this year. Federal funds should be available for them, for Colbert County, for all across our district to help with that vital part of our infrastructure. Our schools are extremely important. I've always supported education. even before I was on the State Board of Education as an elected member from North Alabama. And we can talk about many other areas of quality of life that will add up to the ways that a congressman, as well as all our local leaders, can contribute to the prosperity and the future of the district.
How does having...
You have a lot of questions.
No one else is really asking.
Go right ahead.
How does the grandfather, how does Smarkman help you, I guess, in this campaign, and if you're elected
Sure.
as a congressman?
Well, that's a good question. I want you to understand that I don't expect or would not even want anyone to vote for me because of who I am in terms of my family heritage. But I want them to understand that so they can help understand me and my outlook. In other words, I grew up spending a lot of time with my grandfather. I knew him very well, I was very proud of him, and I saw how he put helping people ahead of his personal advancement many times. And you know, I tell a story sometimes of, I remember my grandfather coming home late one night when I was there with him, and my grandmother asking him what he'd been working on. And he named some bill that was about to become law, and the name of it was something like the Dirksen-Baker Law or something like that. And my grandmother said, "Well now, John, you thought of that, I know you wrote it up, why isn't your name on it?" And he said, "Because I wanted to get it passed, and I figured that was the best way to bring in consensus, get these people on my side, and get it done. And I don't care if my name's on it as long as it gets into law." I think that is a great example of how you work with people, and if you're more interested in results than in personal fame or achievement, you'll get a lot done. Anyone else?
What do your kids say about you doing this?
Well, you know, we have 5 of them from 32 down to 18, and they're all excited. They call me almost every day to say what's going on, and they don't know it, but we're going to put them to work pretty soon, aren't we?
Definitely.
That's for sure. Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you all for coming. If you have any follow-up questions, let me know.